I love this event. This event is awesome. It's a tribe. Everyone has this feeling of trust, so everyone's kind of open to help each other out.
As always, Orange Klik is organizing the best events in Europe. Plenty of people, plenty of knowledge, experts.
I think this conference was just amazing. Like, I was not expecting so many sellers from all over Europe.
I think it actually went beyond the expectations. There's plenty of really knowledgeable speakers, a lot of nuggets, a lot of hacks that you can literally apply as soon as you leave here. Honestly, I believe this was the best event that you have organized. Every year you raise the bar.
Not a lot of events you have this type of caliber of sellers, so I really enjoy coming here every year, yeah.
What we do with Orange Klik is very unique because we are doing something which brings together so many different Amazon sellers from so many different European countries. Last year we had people from more than 40 countries, and I think the reason we are able to do it is that we have really developed a strong community, long-time fans, and most people actually hear about our event from their friends. So we're not heavily promoting the event, but people are talking about it because they enjoy participating so much. They enjoy the high-level content we're having with expert presentations, but also the networking, because where else could you be together with so many high-level Amazon sellers who are ready to scale their already successful Amazon business to new heights?
I had an interesting experience yesterday at lunch. I had a gentleman that sat down next to me and introduced himself, and he told me that he was a truck driver, a professional truck driver 6 years ago, and was listening to things online, and he was listening to some of your content where I think you'd interviewed me, and then he started following one of my podcasts, and he started following that podcast for a few years, and eventually led to him building up an Amazon business enough where he didn't have to drive a truck anymore. He works full-time in e-commerce, multi-million-dollar seller, and was able to sit down next to me and talk to me, which I thought was very humbling but cool experience. And then he was teaching me something. We got to talking about some maybe back-end kind of trickery with Amazon listings, and he taught me something that I'd never heard before that last night I started to have my team implement.
There's one chap that he exited, and he knew about science, he knew about weightlifting, he knew about sports, he knew about, and then it was an Amazon conversation, so I loved the breadth of that conversation. Another interesting conversation we had was with I think Italian seller, and he talked about very specific return of investment and how much he should spend on HR compared to where the failure point is. And that was very interesting because then I took him through his business and then kind of sorted out. And you can see, when you have students or elsewhere, you can see their eyes open when the spark hits and they found a solution. So that was quite nice to see.
I work by myself from home around my kitchen table, so this is my ability to interact with human beings, but also to interact with human beings who do what I do. And that's not what everyone else does. So it is quite difficult sometimes talking to friends who don't know how the Amazon industry works. But also I have a lot of friends in the industry, so it's always nice to catch up with them and also take on new information.
Today is the first day of European Seller Conference. It's Thursday, but we came to Prague already 2 days ago. Tuesday, we had some activities with a free meetup in the evening. It was for free for attendees. We had about 50-55 people coming. And during meetup, people could hear 3 presentations and 1 Q&A session with 2 experts, which are actually speakers at the main conference. And people had good time for 2-3 hours. They were networking in the breaks, and after the presentations, they were asking questions. On Wednesday, we had a VIP day where about 35 entrepreneurs from probably 20-25 countries were spending time the whole day together. In the morning, they had a boat trip. After lunch, they had a VIP mastermind with 4 VIP experts, which were hosting the round tables. And in the evening, we had a VIP dinner with all the sponsors, speakers of European Seller Conference, and VIP sellers. During Masterminds, we had 4 sessions in 4 different rooms, hosted by 4 different experts. And in each room, we had experts who were kind of covering and helping in different topics. This kind of Masterminds we do every year before the European Seller Conference for VIP ticket buyers.
The content of the masterminds in the afternoon was really good. It was really nice to have a quite intimate format where we actually got to sit with the expert and then swapped round every sort of 15 minutes. And then the dinner in the end. I mean, I have to say it was nearly 12 hours of exhaustion, but it was great. Really, really well done. I'm very impressed.
I appreciate very much Tyler, who had a very refreshing and pragmatic approach to finance.
First of all, I like about the structure is that you have like very small discussions and nothing is recorded, so people talk very freely about their brands or strategies or tactics. So it really depends on the speaker that was in the room, because with Leo, for example, we talked more about ranking and reviews and things like that, or what's going on with Black Hats and what people are doing. When it was with Matteo, for example, it was about company culture, and very interesting to kind of think a bit bigger. And me and him had an interesting discussion with the group as well when I was sitting down. So it was very interesting in every single room.
So I think even the mastermind format was very appealing to me because it wasn't me talking to a crowded room. It was like small groups where everybody could introduce themselves and learn, about each other's problems. So we actually had some bullet points of the kinds of topics that we could talk about, but then I also asked them if there was any burning PPC questions that they might have, and then we shortlisted like 4 topics that we could go deep dive into, and so that format really worked out well.
There's a different mindset here that everyone is so focused, all the sessions are packed out, and everyone just comes in and does so much in terms of focus. So you don't see that much elsewhere.
What I think is interesting about this event specifically is the depth of the community. There's a lot of events you go to where people are mingling and people are talking to each other, but this feels a little bit like a family. Even the attendees, the new attendees like myself that have never been to Prague, never been to this event, I feel welcome. I feel like I have a lot of opportunities to actually build meaningful relationships with people. And I think that it takes a special event to foster that type of attitude and that type of community. So I think it's a special one.
There's a lot of sellers here, not just from Europe. Like we've got Australians here. We've got people from everywhere. I think he flew 16 hours or something. So, and I there's a couple Americans here, I know. So there's people coming from all over the world, which I think is really cool. For me, it's just like I am all about perspectives. I think the best way for a human to grow is to be given the gift of perspective, okay? And a close friend is going to give you perspective, or even someone you pay like a coach. And so I think when you come to a place where a lot of the people here speak 3-4 languages, it's very common in Europe. That's different than a U.S. perspective, right? And so maybe we're bilingual at best, and the cultures are different. And so just getting those, I think there's value just in simply a normal conversation with people from different perspectives. See how small the world really is when you come here, and people living in a different place, speaking a different language with a different religion, working toward the same goals.
It's definitely the lineup. I really like that it's a conference that is not about vendors just selling. It's not a lineup of people selling their consulting services. So it's really information, high level, scaling our business from where we are today. That's the main decision. We kind of looked at it, and within an hour we just purchased tickets.
One thing I love about this event is the diversity of people that come here. Like the fact that people fly from all across Europe, even outside of Europe, is amazing. And on top of that, the knowledge we're bringing to the region is something that I really value, and that's made me proud of being part of this community, because I feel like in Europe, unfortunately, we don't really have as many advanced strategies as you may find, for example, in the US market. And the fact that you have speakers coming all the way from the USA and bringing this value to European sellers to succeed in the growth that they may have, and is coming to Europe, is actually amazing. So it's been an amazing experience over here.
This is the conference I wanted to come for the last 2 or 3 years, but I never had the chance, and now finally I got it. And every conference there is always 1 or 2 nuggets that I implement in my business, and this is worth the investment and the time that I come here.
To me, right, I'm talking for myself, my point of view is my motivation is like this, right? When I go to an event, then it starts declining, so I have to go to another event. So that's why I go to events. It just keeps me motivated and keeps me pushing. making sure I'm catched up on everything that's new in the industry, and mainly networking and also with old friends, but also meeting a lot of new people every time I go to an event.
If you're in this space, you're probably working from your home or from an office, but still you're kind of working remotely. And I think this is the best. If you want to grow, scale, and bring your business to the next level, one of the hacks is networking. And this is probably the best place to do that.
We hope to see you one day in European Seller Conference in Prague. We are organizing this event passionately every year, and we look forward to meet you there together with other Amazon sellers from Europe which are doing 1 million or more in revenue. So see you in Prague.